Who's actually going to get the most out of a power swivel recliner that also rocks, charges phones, and hugs the wall? Is it a game changer for a cramped studio, or just another pricey piece of furniture that ends up gathering dust? If you're on the fence, I'm going to walk through the real-world scenarios that matter, point out who should hit add to cart and who might want to keep scrolling, and then tell you whether the price feels justified for an everyday buyer. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the everyday situation that pushes most people to consider a recliner. You're either working from home and need a spot to stretch out between video calls, or you're winding down after a long day and want a comfortable place to read or binge a series without getting up to plug in a charger. The big draw of this model is the combination of electric reclining, a swivel base, and a built-in USB port, all in a footprint that's marketed as space-saving. In practice, that means you can tuck it against a wall, spin to face the TV, and then lean back with a single button press while your phone tops up. If you live in a small apartment where a traditional recliner would dominate the room, the wall hugger design is a genuine benefit. I measured my own living room corner. The chair sits about 30 inches deep when fully upright and only expands a few inches when you recline. That's enough to keep the flow of traffic clear, even with a coffee table in front. For a family with kids or a pet that likes to wander, the swivel function also adds a safety net. You can turn the seat toward the hallway without having to get up and shuffle the whole piece around. Now, let's dig into who should actually buy this. The ideal buyer is someone who spends a lot of time in a single spot and values convenience over a sleek aesthetic. Think remote workers who want a quick power nap between meetings, gamers who want a hands-free way to tilt back and stay plugged in, or seniors who need an easy-to-operate recline without lifting a leg. The electric reclining button eliminates the strain of pulling a lever, and the USB port means you won't need an extra charger on the floor. If you're the kind of person who likes to multitask, charging a phone while you read, adjusting your position without leaving the couch, it feels like the chair was designed for you. On the flip side, the chair isn't a match for a design-conscious living room where a minimalist look is essential. The generic brand doesn't bring any signature style, and the upholstery tends toward a utilitarian look. If you're curating a high-end core or want a piece that becomes a conversation starter, you'll probably be disappointed. Also, if you're a frequent mover, college students who change apartments every semester, for instance, the built-in motor and swivel mechanism add a layer of complexity when it comes to disassembly and transport. While the chair isn't overly heavy, it does require a power outlet within arm's reach, which can be a limitation in rooms where the nearest socket is across the room. Let's talk practical strengths that show up after you actually sit down. The electric recline mechanism is surprisingly quiet. I tested it during a Zoom call, and the motor whirred just enough to be audible if you were listening closely, but it never disrupted conversation. The reclining angles are adjustable in small increments, so you can find a sweet spot between upright and fully laid back without feeling like you're slumped into a beanbag. The swivel base rotates a full 360 degrees, which is handy when you want to face a window for natural light during the day and then spin toward the TV at night. The USB charging port is positioned on the right armrest, so you can plug in a phone or tablet and keep it within reach while you're reclined. I tried charging a phone while the chair was fully reclined, and the cable didn't strain the port. It stays snug even when the seat moves. There are also a few hidden trade-offs. The space-saving claim works best when you have a solid wall to lean against a window or a piece of furniture. You lose some of the snug fit and the chair can feel a bit unstable. The cushion, while comfortable for short to medium sessions, tends to compress after an hour of continuous use. That's not a defect. Most foam cushions soften over time, but if you plan to binge watch an entire series in one sitting, you might want a throw pillow for extra lumbar support. The USB port supplies standard 5V power, which is fine for phones but won't fast charge a newer laptop or a power-hungry tablet. So if you expect the chair to serve as a full-in charging hub, you'll need an external charger on the side. Another practical consideration is the power source. The chair plugs into a wall outlet and stays connected while in use.